What's going on, people? Welcome back to another JSTV back again. And this evening is the latest NUFC news. And I've got Tony and I've got Pete. Hi to you guys. How are you doing?
Very well done, you.
Hi, John. Very well.
I'm good. I'm great. It's all these hipsters on social media having a go at me for having an opinion. Yeah. And I tell you one thing, right? We all got opinions. Yeah. Simple as that. We're not happy clapper. It says how it is. We're real. We're the real people. Do you know what I mean? But there you go. So, guys,
happy clappers, John.
Say again. No, happy clappers I am when you win the games, Tony. Happy clapper means we win the game. Simple as that. So,
absolutely.
Whether they like it or not, tough. Happy hipster. I mean, all these hipsters, right? You want to be a hipster, right? And you're a happy clapper, and you want to be a happy clapper, which we're not. Then go do some hipsters somewhere else. But not on here. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, like what you watch, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. And if you like the super chat is down the bottom on the right hand corner. Click on that to donate what you want. And if you'd like to become a member, it is just 99p. And let's go on to Neil Biggs. Big to you, Neil. Hope you're well. And let's go for Mr. Knight. His chance of winning is so far toxic. Dave, we're going to talk about that in a bit. And I tell you something now, right? I mean, you cannot please people. Please people sometimes. You please cannot do it all the time. Big up to Beer Viking, big up to Brian, Pete, and Salford. What does he mean by Salford?
I know what he
means. Salford. It was Mason. Hi to you. Hi to Julie. Hi to David again. I'm good. Hope you're well. Hi to Jay and Kishan. Hi to Kishan as well. Yeah, so all it is, right? I mean, one thing I'm going to say, we're no happy clappers at this on my channel. Never have been, never will be. We speak the truth. We speak facts. And I know people just, like try and control you. And let's be real. We're not going to take in that crap at all whatsoever. But we go for the comments again. Let's go on to Kishan. Go hi to you, mate. Hi to Mick. Hope you're well.
Hello, Mick.
On the real one. What team is that in Salford? On the postcard, guys. And
Shite Chester United.
It's Salford. There you go. There's people watching me channel, so Reds as well. And we got a big Evertonian soul called Trace. I'll try to get Trace on my channel, but you know what? Trace is just I wouldn't say avoid but she says she's a bit too shy, but I'm going to get her on. I'm going to keep campaigning as well. But there you go. Right, let's go swiftly on to the day's news. And it's been, I wouldn't say breaking news is fat, but looks like Kuruminte could be on its way. It's going to be a bit of war. There's been multiple clubs being watched at as well. Everton and Lyon and Dortmund, Liverpool even as well. Do you know what I mean? But Tony, where can you start on this, man? Because what it is, right? I mean, for me personally, I don't want this kid to go. But we look back on it, because FFP, PSR, we've got absolutely no choice. Talk to us, man.
Absolutely, John. Absolutely. Well, look at yesterday. Honestly, it was a crazy Saturday. Let's be honest. I mean, I put a video out this morning. If anybody hasn't seen it, go and check it out. But and John done a transfer show me yesterday afternoon as well. I mean, look, yesterday it was just honestly, by the time I went to bed last night, my head was frazzled. I just didn't know whether I was coming or going. I just thought, what the hell is going on today? You know, it's just beyond the joke, this. First the Calvert-Lewin link started, then about Minty, then it was like, it just seemed to be one after the other, after the other, after the other.
Max Kilman as well.
And I was like, what the hell is going on here? There's something's going down here and there's something not right. But, I mean, look, Minty, I don't want him to go. I want to see what he can do in the black and white shirt. And this is what's annoying me. But it's down to this PSR business, and I'm bloody well sick of it. Because, look, at the end of the day, they are destroying football. This is why I said the other week, I'm now starting to lose interest in football. And if I lose interest completely, I'll walk away and I'll not bother. Because, look, it's because of the way this PSR is going on. It's ruining people's... It just ruins it for the fans. Because at the end of the day, you can't... you just can't think, oh, well, we can get this player in because we'll have to sell this player to balance the books. And it's just getting to a stage where it's just getting beyond the joke. I mean, look, you look at the way PSR's going on at the minute, okay? Right? And I'll go through this with you, right? So, Chelsea have sold Maatsen to Villa, right? But Chelsea have bought Kellyman off Villa for £20 million, despite Kellyman's valuation only being £1 million and played less than 150 minutes of professional football, right? Villa is saying Lewis Dobbin from Everton for £10 million, even though he's only worth £2 million. Everton buys Tim Igrabanham from Villa for £9 million, despite his valuation being £4 million. We are attempting similar deals with Everton for Calvert-Lewin and Minty. And this is because Chelsea, Villa, Everton, Newcastle need to sell players to stay within the financial regulations. And academy players are being sold for inflated fees before the 30th of June. You know, we know why now, you know. And it's just, you know, and obviously we're finding loopholes around the financial regulations, which it is. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's ruining football. It's ruining football, John. And as I say, I'm getting towards the stage where I'm starting to lose interest. And I'll walk away because, look, it's just becoming ridiculous now. It's anti-competitive. That's what this is. It's anti-competitive. We signed a player from Odense for 5-6 million quid because it was €7 million. So you're talking about 5-6 million quid. He goes out on loan to Feyenoord, has a cracking season, 10 goals, 5 assists. You know, has a great season for them. Yes, he had his down part where he wasn't in spell, and Arnie Slot had a word with him, but got him playing better. And the kid looks great. And we're thinking, wow, we can't wait for pre-season. See what this kid can do pre-season. He might save us a lot of money on the right wing. Now, we having to sell him before we even have him playing for Newcastle United. The only time he's pulled a black and white shirt on is for the photograph, and that was it. That's the only time he's pulled a black and white shirt on, because he ain't pulled one on to play in the first team, because that's gone now by the looks of it. You know, and you know, I do sort of question the ambition of our club as well, because last year, Yasser stated he wants us to be number one. Well, I'm sorry. Players like Calvert-Lewin will not make us number one, I'm telling you now. And, you know, there's got to be better strikers out there than Calvert-Lewin, I'm afraid. I am not happy with the Calvert-Lewin signing. I think it's a very underwhelming signing. But obviously, we want to get into Calvert-Lewin a bit later, John. But going on about Minty, yes, I don't want to believe. But you know what? The more I've thought about it, John, I think, do you know what? If we get 40 million quid for him, or whatever it is, I don't mind. And our trustees owners will put in either a buyback clause or a massive sell-on clause, because, you know, our owners aren't stupid. They are not stupid. They know what they're doing, you know. Yeah. If he wants to go to Leon, I'll tell you what. Say to Leon, right, I'll tell you what. You have Minty, we'll take Shirky. Because Shirky can play right wing, left wing, and attacking midfield. And Ryan Shirky is a hell of a player. Yes, we know he's had his issues, but I tell you what, he's one hell of a player. And he would solve our right wing crisis as well. And to get a quality player like that at 20 years of age to come in, like for like from Minty, you know, we could do a deal somehow. We could do a deal where we could say they're paying 40 million for Minty and we're paying 30 for Shirky. Just to get around the FFP if we wanted to. So, you know, I would do that. And, you know, and I don't know if you know this, John and Pete, but apparently, according to the Chronicle, Newcastle have now told Man United, don't worry about paying a fee for Dan Ashworth. They don't have to pay a fee for Ashworth now, because they can have him free in 18 months' time when his gardening leaves up. Now, I'll tell you what it is. Now, I'll tell you what, though, John. Ratface is now going to come out and have another go at us again. And I'll tell you what, if he wants to keep having a go at us, Ratface, keep doing it, mate, because I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, our owners will end up taking him to court for slander, because that's what that guy is, a slander. And he's saying he's never heard of gardening leave. What a load of bullshit, because he works in Ineos, he owns Ineos, he's in that industry. They have gardening leave in all these other companies as well. So he can't sit there and tell a barefaced lie on TV that he knows nothing about gardening leave. The man talks utter shit. And he's like Mike Ashley. That's all he is. He's a glorified Mike Ashley for Man United. And I'm glad they're stuck with him.
Yeah, facts, absolute facts. And I know a lot of Man U fans come up to us and say, even on the DM and said, look, at the end of the day, we got it right. And we know how to, handle ourselves. We're not a soft touch anymore. We are not a soft touch anymore. And you know what? We are an elephant in the room. We not get bullied. So there you go. Let's go some.
Sorry for the run, John.
No, that's fine, man. That's what we got you on, Tony. You speak the truth, man. You're the real one. You don't talk BS. That's what I like. And John, I wouldn't like Minter to go to a team like Liverpool, but it's allegiance to Man U. Listen, Mason, I'm not a red. Okay. And hi to Alan. Hope you're well, miss. Hi to Kitchen again. They're not named a club we agreed with. Well, it could be Leon or it could be Everton, but then again, nobody knows. Minter has been linked with loads of teams, and most of it is paper talk. Paul, I kind of agree, mate. Nobody knows. Selling Minter, we're buyback. It's good business. That's some beer. Well, if he goes, we insert a buyback clause. Big up to Gary D. I hope you're well, mate. Centurion84, hi to you. Hard to tell if it's silly season, and we are getting work up over non-stories. You know what it is, right? One thing I'm going to say, in my opinion, right? I think now the club's got to come out and say, look, this player's not for sale, that player's not for sale. It's true. It's true. They need to come out and just tell us, yeah? That's all they got to do, and then we'll stop. I will swap Minter for Shirky for Leon Nick. That's exactly what Tony said, 100%. Big up to Martin. Hope you're well. And hi to the handsome guy on the top left. Oh, it's Big John Sinclair. You got to like Martin, haven't you? I don't think DCL Kilman not going to happen. I think it's just to try to throw other teams off sense so they can definitely deal John before anyone can get the something. Tony.
Ben Jacobs has just put out 19 minutes ago. Callum Wilson, obviously, there's interest from West Ham for him. West Ham were offering apparently 26 million quid. That was what the rumours were.
Mm-hmm.
Snap the hands off as far as I'm concerned. But what he said is he's drawn interest. Callum Wilson from West Ham, as well as Saudi, Al Fateh and Al Ali, have both discussed Wilson, but no offer yet. But Newcastle are open to selling him.
Yeah, I tell you what, we're going to talk about that, Tony, in a minute. So we're going to talk about that as well.
So that's come out from Ben. That's come out from Ben Jacobs. So the highest bidder, please. Thank you very much. Have a bidding war. Come on, guys. Come on, clubs, get a bidding war going.
Let's have it. Let's have it. Yeah, I'll bet that one, Raki. Thanks, that Raki. Good evening to Gareth. From California. Well, Minter was an Ashworth signing. Maybe Eddie never wanted him, but harsh on the lad to bin him off. There's loads of others we need off the books first. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say to people. But the trouble is on social media, you're not allowed to say anything. You're not allowed to say anything more. You're not allowed to say this, say that, t'other. Yeah. I spoke to a lad today, right? Clearly air talks on a DM today, right? And you probably know the guy. And, I'll put it straight. Forgot about it. Cool. PSR decided to start clubs, progressing with the cartel clubs. That's a Terry B.
Exactly.
And there's always beach volleyballs in a few weeks' time, Tony.
Yes, that's it.
I thought he was going to say Salford then.
That would be in the Olympics in Paris. And yeah, it would be an interesting watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think John Ratcliffe should be into that as well because he looks like a volleyball. He should be playing volleyball for the Sand Crabs for I care. There you go. Don't
that man's Mike Ashley II, John. That's what he is.
Cool, well be. He's
the Mike Ashley of Man United. Because when you look at it, John, right? You look at it. He puts in a £35 million bid for Jared Branthwaite. When everybody knows Branthwaite's worth a hell of a lot more than that. He's worth double that. And then when Everton say, well, we want £70 million, he, oh, no, we're not paying that. And he walks away. He doesn't want to get rid of Ten Hag because he's got to pay compensation. That reminds me of a certain owner we used to have who didn't want to sack Cabbagehead because, I've got to pay compensation. So, Ratface is exactly the same. And Man United fans, if there's any in the chat, I tell you what, I hope you enjoy your Mike Ashley II because that's exactly what he is. Just wait till you and your sign start going around the stadium.
Yeah. That don't all change after this season of FFP rules, but it can all change depending on what comes out in next week's City's case. Paul, I hope City win. Martin, if you're watching, and I'm sure you're watching this, mate, I'm rooting for you, and I hope things comes in your way. Even the JK, hope you're well. He's a good-looking, handsome lad. Yay! Thank you, Mr. Watson. Roma apparently interested in Mintes, deal for Sylvia and Abraham, boom striker and a keeper. You know what it is, Sylvia? He's a fantastic goalkeeper. That keeper is absolutely brilliant. He really is. And I'll tell you what, Sylvia. Sylvia, great keeper. I tell you what, hadn't been for him, Roma will not be finishing 5th or 6th this season. I think a lot of people are losing interest because of lots of factors, including the useless refs and the corruption of the Premier League, which is on full delay. It really knocks you sick, fat. Pete, your take on Minty?
Yeah, I would like to have seen the lad be given a chance, but if we have got to sell him because of the whole PSR bullshit, then unfortunately we've got, well, what can we do about it? If we get a good deal, but yeah, if like Tony said, if we got around 40 million, that would be a great deal. That would be really, really good for a very young lad. This agency's impressed for Feyenoord as well. It is what it is. This whole PSR is killing football completely. And it wouldn't surprise me if clubs now start to walk away from the Premier League as well. They'll say to the Premier League, we want out of the Premier League now.
Yeah.
Why should we have to come and put up with this?
Yeah.
You're killing football. You're not letting other clubs like us, other teams compete. You're there to protect those cartel clubs in particular. It's ruining football completely.
Yeah. Well said, Pete. Well said. Well said. FFP, PSR, and all the other cronies at turning football into commodity markets. Exactly. That's all it is. Tony, that's DCL will be a whole signing. We've got to talk about DCL later. Anyone forced maybe Minte don't like living in England could be another reason for sale. Do you know what it is, man? Nobody knows. We don't know if he lives like England. We have no idea. Simple as that. Chelsea find loopholes now. How on earth they can sell a hotel, training ground, and a car park to themselves? That's like me selling 20th Century Fox to my sister. That's a fair shout, Brian. That's a fair
John,
shout.
I just thought there, John. He has a thought, right?
Yeah.
Right. I know because I know this lad's I know he's a class act. He's a class midfielder, and probably fit well into our team, especially alongside Tonali as well. If Roma were interested in Minty,
yeah,
do you think we could be cheeky, John, and ask for a part exchange for Lorenzo Pellegrini? Because that lad is class.
He is class, isn't he? He is class.
He's only on 124 grand a week, John. He's on about 110,000 a week in English money.
I could tell you now. I mean, people's going to say from football. I take Pellegrini, but he'll never leave Roma, Tony. He would never leave Roma. No way. He wouldn't, because he's Roma captain as well, right? And he loves that football club, and he's a fan's favourite as well. I can't see him leaving Roma at all whatsoever. I'll be shocked if he did leave Roma for us. It's not going to happen, but go
on. And looking at the players, like Pellegrini's like similar midfielders to Pellegrini, and I can't believe there's one of them that's on this list. I don't even know how he's compared to Pellegrini, to be fair, and that's Dwight McNeil of Everton. Yeah. Of all the players, he's like Morgan Sanson of Nice, who used to play for Villa. He's similar to Pellegrini, as is Sabitzer, Yusuf Fofana of Monaco, Llorente from Atletico Madrid. And obviously on that list is Dwight McNeil, which I'm like, what? How would you put Dwight McNeil in the same breath as Lorenzo Pellegrini? Come on, for God's sake. Surely somebody's cocked up there, haven't they?
It looks like it, doesn't it? That's not
Would you
good.
put Dwight McNeil in the same breath as Lorenzo Pellegrini, John?
Not a chance.
You watch a lot of Italian football?
Not a chance. This guy has made over 200 appearances. He's banging 34 goals for a Serie A club, yeah? And been there since 2017. Two since Sassuolo before that. 2017, he moved to Roma, and he's been there for, 7 seasons. I cannot see this guy leaving anytime soon because he's a Roma Capitano. So, can't say it, but you never know. I hope so.
I just thought I'd throw it in there, John. That was all. I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Can't swap directly for Shirky. Doesn't solve PSR issues. Has to be 2 separate deals.
That's why I said sell him for 40 million and buy Shirky for 30. There you go.
There you go. Job done. Even to Mr. Kelly, hope you're well. Yeah, so good. Peace of Sunday. Big up to Mad Mag. I hope you're good. If DCL close does come to us, he might as well do a 5 and score goals for us. We're going to come on to him in a bit, Ashley, as I speak to you. 5 is Lawson coming in. Just keep them coming in, please, people. And get paid. You have to tell the company that finances Chelsea, they will withdraw the investment if they keep trying to steal potential Newcastle signings. You know what it is, Pete? Chelsea are at it again.
Well, yeah, you know what they're like. It sounds like they just want every player that's out there, doesn't it? So it's like we get linked with one. Oh, Chelsea are in the name for the person as well.
You know, yesterday, John, when they said it was Leicester in Ipswich as well, in for Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
Well, according to other parts I've looked at, apparently the other club that is now interested in Calvert-Lewin. So I'm going to say, please, Chelsea.
Yes.
That's on you. That was coming.
Take him, Chelsea, please.
Chelsea, taken. Calvert-Lewin only makes sense if Wilson stay. Then we'd have 3 strikers to rotate. Other than that, it makes no sense to me at all. Terry B, I understand what you mean. Ratcliffe's nothing back as a slinky get. Yeah. You said it, Miss Lee. You said it. Or could be a smoke screen. Cool. Well, B. Big up to Jason B. Hope you're well. Evening to you, mate. And hi to Janot's left foot. How can you miss a player that has never played for us? If send a lad means we keep our best player and can invest, I'm all for it. Yeah, I mean, look.
Not a bad point, yeah.
No, that's not a bad point there. But the thing is, right, I mean, at first I wanted to keep the lad. Then I realised people tell us the DM, say, look, if you sell him, then if you sold him for 40 million, Tony, right, then we could spend about 150 mil.
Thing is, John, you times it by 4, so or 4.5 it is. So you're talking over 160 mil. Yeah. But the thing is, right, now the other thought I had of this with the Minty situation as well, as much as we want to see him play in the black and white shirt, but we're not going to get that opportunity. The thing is, if, say, for instance, we get 40 million for Minty, and I'm just saying 40 million, I don't know what the price is for him. Nobody really knows. People are just plucking figures out the air. They're just guessing. So if you're getting 40 million quid for Minty, right? Now, I was thinking, well, hang on, he hasn't put a shirt on for us, but he's played well in Eredivisie. Now then, what happens if we decide to keep him and we say, right, we'll put him in the Premier League and he has a total flop in the Premier League, and then you'd be lucky if you only get 10 million from him.
Yeah.
You're thinking, so you're rolling the dice here because you're like, should we, or shouldn't we? So when you've bought a player for like 5 or 6 million quid, somebody's coming in and saying, oh, we'll give you 40 million quid for him. You're thinking, oh, hang on, he ain't played for us, but 40 million quid. We haven't missed him because he hasn't been playing for us. So it's like we haven't had him. Do you know what? Yeah, there you go. So I can see the point coming from that. You know, in some ways, yes, it's disappointing that we're selling this player on. But then I look at it and think, yeah, because we haven't had him actually physically playing for us. And as I say, the Premier League is a totally different league to Eredivisie. Now, we know that because we've seen Anthony come into there. He looks terrible. You know, that we celebrated against the League Two side, Newport, when he scored that goal for Man U in the FA Cup.
Sums it up.
It was like, you know, he scored a worldie. The way went on, his antics at the end of that semi-final against Coventry were absolutely disgraceful. Even the Man U fans were disgusted by him. You know, and so, as I say, in Eredivisie, where, like last year, Minty scored a goal, and he could have scored easier, but he decided to take the mickey out of another defender and take it around him and then put it in the net. Now, he probably wouldn't get to do that in the Premier League. So maybe in the Premier League, he may have been found out, and so he may not have had a great time in the Premier League. I mean, not that we know of. So in a way, if it's a player we haven't had, as I've said, so if they give us 40 million, it's a no-brainer. And, you know, I know it's a shock. We don't want to lose players like this, like I said before there. But that opens up a lot of doors. And remember, July the 1st, it all starts again, the PSR. it resets again. So, look, either way, whatever happens is going to happen. We can't tell the club not to sell them. If they want to sell them, they sell them. If it's got to balance the books, then it's got to balance the books.
Yeah, have to be. But he's kicking and alive as well. Darren Niels did see it. They had to sell to buy players. Yes, he did. So I'm not surprised that you have to sell to buy with the PSR FFP. And I tell you what, if Man City wins this, I tell you what, it'd be embarrassing for the Premier League. Love having a laugh with you, Jay. Love the show, lads. Thank you, Martin. And you're always welcome on my channel too. Not much transfer activity due to Euros, the Copa America, and players on holiday, etc. Don't want to talk business yet. You know what it is? Wacky, right? The business is open now. There's deals in place. You can still do deals. What are these deals? The Villa, Chelsea, Everton shows is that you need allies in the Premier League to help each other out. This is a smart move by those three, in my opinion. Chelsea, Everton, Villa. Pete?
Yeah, it is. Well, is it Villa? Apparently, it could be selling Douglas Luiz to Juventus, is it?
He's gone.
Probably. Gone.
Oh, he's gone. Definitely gone.
Yeah, they've got two other players coming in from the other side.
Oh, right.
They've not took Weston McKennie because apparently his wages were a stumbling block.
Right.
I think
to sell one of their best players just because the whole PSR is just.
It's wrong.
Douglas Luiz didn't want to leave.
He's the victim. This is exactly it. He's the victim of the PSR. And it's unfair. Because I'll tell you something now, right? People in the chat are going to say this now, right? Or at least he's going to Bayern Munich. We know that. But I'll tell you something else now. If Premier League clubs don't want to spend money or give them the new deals, I'll tell you something now. The vultures of European clubs like Madrid, Bayern, PSG, Juve, Milan, Napoli, Barca, we're thinking, hang on a minute, the Premier League are not spending as much. I wonder why. They got caught by PSR. So what we're going to do, we're going to buy the best talent in the Premier League. And I tell you what, and those best talent will go to those clubs. And I tell you something now, if we lose the best talent, at least it's gone, right? He's gone, right? If we lose people like Erling Haaland, Bernardo Silva, Bruno, Joelinton, right? Isak, Arsenal, it could be Trossard, it could be Declan Rice, it could be their top players as well, going to like Italy or Spain. I'll tell you something now, we lose talent like that, the Premier League is done. We're going to be in big trouble, Pete. Can you see the pattern I'm trying to say to you? Because Mark said this, the whole thing again.
Absolutely, John, because it's the whole PSR.
Joke,
it's so wrong. It's just so wrong,
mean,
isn't it?
Yeah. Here's a question, guys. Right, and look, and I'm saying this on a serious note here. Right now, I've supported Newcastle all my life, born and bred, supported Newcastle through and through. Now then, right. So, some people are saying DCL, we can't write them off because Eddie Howe will improve them. But we don't know that. But the thing is, right, the way I look at it, right, look at the signings we're looking at. Trafford, right? DCL, Max Kilman. Okay, Max Kilman's not a bad centre-back, let's be honest. He's not a bad centre-back. And he didn't miss a single game last season for Wolves. So that shows you he's not injury-prone. So you've got a centre-back there who's not going to miss a lot of games. Albeit he's a left-footed centre-back, but he normally plays in the middle of a back three for Wolves, Max Kilman, because they play with wing-backs, Wolves, because they've got Nori and Semedo on the wing-backs. Two very good wing-backs, by the way. I really rate Nori. Now then, when you look at the calibers of player we're bringing in, now, does it say, do you look at that and think, where are we going as a club? Because when Amanda first came in, she said, we got a 5-10-year plan where we want to hopefully win trophies, win the Premier League, win the FA Cup, win the Champions League in that 5 to 10 years. Now then, question is, and I don't want this to sound like I'm being negative, because I'm not being negative to Eddie Howe whatsoever, because I would like to see nothing more than Eddie Howe succeed. But I just look at it and I just think with the signings we're looking at bringing in, is Eddie Howe not used to being well, we know he's not used to being in charge of a big club. Is Eddie Howe in some ways out of his depth in a big club, where he would sign players like this for likes of Bournemouth? But what he's doing at Newcastle, where we want to go to, are the caliber players that he wants to bring in going to take us to that next level? And that's what you've got to look at. So, Pete and John, what do you think? Do you think the club's too big for Eddie Howe? Do you think, do you think he's only got one season left here, or what?
Go on, Pete.
We'll wait and see. I mean, we've got to have a good start next season because we've got some winnable games starting off, because the toughest game is going to be Manchester City, and that's September. And there's still quite a few games before that. We've got to have a good start of the season. I think it all depends how we start the season off.
But if he's bringing those players in, right? Then if we don't get off to a great start, Eddie Howe's the one who's under pressure for bringing those players in.
He absolutely will be, because
but then you've got to remember the likes of DCL, who's on $100,000 a week at Everton. He's going to want more money when he comes. Mm-hmm. Now, what if he flops? You're not going to get rid of him easy, and this is the problem.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be hard to get rid. That is the thing. You look at the players you've got in the club. I mean, you got Miguel Almiron, right? He's got 2 years left on his contract. We can't get rid of him, right? We can't get rid of him because he's on mega bucks a week. We just can't get rid of the guy. Do you know what I mean? Sean Longstaff, or 36, he's got 1 year left on his contract, We can't get rid of him. He don't want to go, Matt Target, he's got 2 years left on his contract, 100K a week.
$100,000 a week.
Can't get rid of him either. That's the thing, We have got players, right, who's on big amount of money. We can't get shift. You can't shift. That is the thing, Don't give them ridiculous long contracts and then this won't happen,
That's it.
And this is why people don't come to us, This is why nobody ain't knocking on the door for Miggy. Nobody ain't knocking on the door for Matt Target. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, guys, right, it's just, they've got to get their recruitment right in the summer. They've got to get it right for me. And
what also you got to remember, John and Pete, is when with the likes of the signings we're trying to make, likes of Calvert-Lewin and Max Kilman, yes, that like some Max Kilman, he's probably going to be what you call a solid signing. He would be a good solid signing for the defence because, and I can see why Wolves don't want to sell him because at the end of the day, he's got a contract for another 4 years yet at Wolves, so they're not in a hurry to sell him. They don't have to sell him. And that is the thing. He's only on $50,000 a week. But I mean, they're under the likes of Max Kilman and Dominic Calvert-Lewin are both under the same agency as Livramento, Harvey Barnes, Eddie Howe, and Mikel Arteta as well. So look, they've got a good portfolio. So a lot of people use Wasserman, but so
crazy.
So there seems to be a bit of a ring there, doesn't it? How we're looking at DCL. It's funny how we're looking at DCL and Kilman when they're all on the same agency as what likes of Eddie Howe and Livramento and Harvey Barnes is. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be interesting. That's what we can see. Let's go for the comments. Keep them coming in. We're going to come on to DCL in a bit. I don't mind the DCL signing on as backup to Isak with a better coach in Howe and better players. He could do a job on us as an impact signing, and he's only had 2 seasons of bad injuries. He had 6 months out last season as well. That ain't good. I'm not surprised Eddie wants to rid him in here as he doesn't want anything to relate with Ashworth. If he could have got out of here, he would have. That is the thing. Now, big up to Noah, by the way. And hi to everyone in the room as well. And thank you, Martin. And why the hell we're going to transfer him into here? He was supposed to be our new right winger to save us money. That's a fair shout.
Could be. Or are we in the market? Are we in the market for that huge winger name?
I hope so. I really do hope
that
so.
That is the major position we need to strengthen.
Gordon.
That is the major position we need to strengthen. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's work going on in the background to try and get that big signing, which I believe could well be a right winger.
I hope that's the case. If you get a right winger, then I think he needs to go.
All the people going having a bit of a thingy down about the Elise deal. There's nothing we can do about it. The player chose Bayern Munich over the other clubs, including us. Yeah. That's where he wanted to go. If he wants to go there, that's his choice.
Fact, absolute fact. It's this career.
Yeah, the end of the day. This meltdown is it does go a bit over the top, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but I thought if that's his move, fair enough. He wants to go there.
Yeah, cool.
He didn't want. He didn't want to come to the other clubs that were linked.
Exactly, and this is going to be a problem though, Pete, because if he goes to thinking like going to Bayern Munich, and then probably say Minte goes to Lyon, and then a younger Douglas Luiz goes to Juve, right? I tell you what, we are losing quality players from the Premier League, and that is going to be a problem. We got a problem now. This PSR, yeah, I think there'll probably be more. We might get Erling Haaland going to Real Madrid next season, yeah, and that is going to be a killer. I'm telling you. Or Rodri could be heading off to say Real Madrid. Yeah, I don't think you go to Madrid play for Atletico Madrid, but it played for probably play PSG. I tell you what, the league, people tell me it's the best league in the world. Yeah, all right, whatever.
Far from it, John. Far from it.
Post a bit, but the people who are running the Premier League are not making it like that way.
No, definitely
Richard
not.
Certainly not.
Tricky Dicky.
Yeah, I mean the guy is an absolute buffoon. Absolute buffoon. And
he is
John. Muppet. If you have to have fair market value for associated sponsors, then just have more sponsors for different things for fair market value, where within the rules. And all it is, I think if Man City wins this, gosh, we need to keep Minte.
What we should have done, we should have done the Man City model, where if you get sponsorships in for £1 million, they don't have to go through. They don't have to be rubber stamped because they can just go straight through under the radar as such.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we could have got, say, 50 or 60 of them in through the door, 50 or 60 of them £1 million sponsors, there's 50, 60 million quid a year that you know that you're making without it going through the books of without it going through Premier League approval. So yeah, it does make. I mean, look, you look at the likes of like getting rid of Elliot Anderson. We wanted to swap him in a player plus cash deal for Max Kilman. Got rejected. West Ham put a bid in for Kilman. That got rejected as well. Obviously, as I said, he's got 4 years left. Wolves don't want to sell him in a hurry.
No.
Now then, I look at the reasons why it looks like we are trying to get rid of Elliot Anderson, right? Now, if you look at the reasons why, it actually could make sense. But the only problem is, if we want to get rid of Elliot Anderson, I don't want him going out as a player plus cash deal. I want him sold because you get the 100% profit because he's homegrown. So, and that gets around the loophole. But it looks like we're trying to offload Elliot Anderson. Now then, I can see the reason why. Look, Elliot Anderson wants to play either left midfield or left wing. Right, left wing, we are stacked. Gordon, Harvey Barnes can play left wing. So we've got enough there for left wing. Left, and obviously Joe Linton can play there, so can Joe Willock. So, you know, we've got there. If he wants to play left midfield, again, we're stacked there with competition. Joe Linton, Joe Willock, you know, there's other players. They were smiling. So look, I can see why. And look, if Elliot Anderson did have to move on to go and further his career elsewhere, I wouldn't have a problem with that because I can understand that one because we are stocked up on that left-hand side. I don't know what you guys think, what I've just said there, but can you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because we have got a lot of midfield in those positions, haven't we? So where does it leave him in the sides? In a way.
Okay.
He has put a statement out, Elliot Anderson, saying he does not want to leave, but he might not have a choice. That's the thing.
Exactly. Well, at the end of the day, I'll still keep Elliot Anderson in because I'll tell you what, if we lose Elliot Anderson, then that's another talent goal. If he went to say, I'm going to go left field, say Borussia Dortmund, right? Or even goes to say Stuttgart, right? He's going to be thinking, yo, I like this Bundesliga league, top club, great fans. I'm going to stay there. And then the Premier League will be playing third, fourth fiddle to the Bundesliga for me. So it are then La Liga, Bundesliga, the Premier League. And that's the order of merit for me. So there you go. the people in place, I think PSR has been made out to be the reason. But if you're a young player, why would you come to club after this? Niall, thank you. Thank you, Niall. I've said this today. I've said that today, and someone else said the same thing, right? But people wouldn't take no notice of that at all whatsoever, man. Yeah? I mean, if you're a young player, you're thinking, yo, I've got to speak to Minte, what's going on? And they can say, no, thanks, I'm not coming. I'll go play for the team, not to go out on loan straight away, not to come back and then go to another club. I don't want to be playing tennis. I don't want to be the Wimbledon ball. Do you know what I mean? I want to play football for that particular club. Simple as that. Yeah? I'll tell you what, also, under 23s, right? I'm sorry, that needs a complete revamp as well.
Well,
anyway.
I did say to you yesterday, John, obviously last summer, we were heavily linked with Alan Varela from Boca Juniors.
Perfect example.
And we could have got him for £4 million.
Yeah.
And he goes to Porto instead. Now he has a £55 million release clause. You know, we dilly-dally didn't even bother getting him. The same with Marcus Leonardo. We were linked with him. And he goes Benfica for £18 million striker. Do you know what I mean? A young striker. We could have had him on our bench and he would have been an ideal substitute. He would have been ideal on the bench at the moment. You know, even for next season coming up as well, to learn his way into the Premier League. But again, another one we missed out on. We could have had Adam Morton last summer. But Andy Pandy, Eddie Howe's nephew, said, no, we're not signing him. He's playing in the Championship. Now look at him. He's playing well for Crystal Palace and he's in the England squad within 6 months of being at Palace.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think we got that badly wrong. This is why Andy Pandy needs to leave the club. He needs to get out because if he's in charge of transfers, we've got no chance whatsoever.
That is not good. I mean, I've never heard of this guy. I've never heard of this Andy Howe at all whatsoever.
That's Eddie Howe's nephew.
I tell you, it's great, isn't it?
Could we really have family members working in an environment like this as well?
That is ridiculous. How can you have someone, the common family member, to come in the club and to help you out? It's wrong. Don't get it.
We've got no director of football. This is what killed us as well, John, I think, as well. The fact is, you know, Eddie Howe's obviously in control of transfers as well. And because we've got no director of football, you know.
Yeah, it's getting, you need to get one in ASAP. FFP, all for themselves, look after the big six. Lee is well documenting, man. Rax chatting to Terry. Don't worry, Andy Howe will scout us some great players. Well, time will tell. All the best players in Europe will stay in Europe. As Premier League can't buy the best players through the FFP and PSL. Peter, I've said that this morning.
You did.
Some people on social media, I mean, I looked at a couple of them, and only one of them said exactly the same thing.
Exactly. If this PSL wasn't in, look who could be coming through the door. Look who could be coming in the Premier League. Play for which team?
Totally agree. Totally agree. I mean, if we went in for like Pellegrini, right, in a couple of years' time, he'd probably ask for about 200k a week or 31. Premier League won't allow it. Premier League won't allow it. Never say never. Live and learn. Okay, cool. Like we shop at Social and Pound Lounge with DCL and Trafford. That's now. Excuse me.
That's another thing, John. See, Bart Verbruggen, who plays for Brighton now, and he's playing for Holland in the World Cup, first choice keeper for them, by the way.
Yeah.
Why weren't we all over that deal? I think didn't he go to? I think he went to Brighton for about 7 or 8 million quid. Dutch goalkeeper playing in Belgium, and I remember when Rowley said to me, "Oh no, we don't want to sign him. He's playing in the Belgian league." Well, look, Rowley. The thing is, though, he's playing in the Euros for Holland, and he's the number one keeper, and he's playing for Brighton. Now, he's only a young keeper. Why weren't we all over that? This is what I'm saying. And then we're trying to get the likes of Trafford through the door, but now it's being knocked back because Burnley want more money for him. And now that deal looks like that's just gone quiet all of a sudden. So, you know, to me, honestly, I just wonder at times what's going on with our club. And, you know, as I say, there's players we could have had. You know, there were some good players, you know, in that Belgian league. There is some good players in that Belgian league. But as I say, the problem is we don't seem to be shopping there. I mean, yes, okay, fair enough. some of them go to France and play in France, and then they get their value goes up. But if you look at leagues around Europe that are rated in Europe, France is actually rated lower than the Belgian league, believe it or not.
Wow.
You know, absolutely, yeah, it is. Brighton paid 20 million euros for him, so they're gone for about 18 million quid. Bought for Bruggen. He's 21 now.
I think he gets some good.
He should be all over that.
Yeah,
he would be the ideal understudy for Pope.
Yeah,
number 2.
I agree. I take Victor Gyökeres. I think he's a fantastic striker.
Gyökeres, yeah, another great player.
He is. Thank you so much indeed for that one.
Too many clubs in from John, wasn't there? He's got a £60 million release clause, hasn't he?
Yeah. And again, we can't buy him. We cannot find him at all. Don't know why we don't look at him. I take him over DCL any day of the week. Exactly. Pablo,
I mean, look, you look at Gyökeres last season in the Portuguese league, right? 32 games started, 33 played, 29 goals scored, 10 assists. And they only got him for like 14 million quid from Coventry City. And it's just like, absolute madness. 18 million quid from Coventry City. And look at him now. His value is like over 60 million quid. It's mad. But it just shows you how well he's done. He's gone over there and hit the ground running. There might well be a lot of Premier League clubs looking now thinking, we should have took a punt on this guy. Too late now. He's at Sporting. If you want him, you have to pay over 60 million quid for him. But
exactly,
he's been really, really good for Sporting Lisbon. Yeah.
I mean, thing is, they've also come to the Premier League. No clubs can afford to buy him because of PSR.
No.
And that is the problem. And we got one from Beer. It's Brentford and West Ham for DCL. We're going to come to DCL. We're going to flow for the comments first, and then we're going to go on to DCL. And make sure you smash the like. Lucas Indonesia, big up to you, man. And Alan should have follows my account. Wow. Well
nice
done
one.
to you.
Brilliant.
Nice one, man. Apparently, they want 37 mil for Calvert Lewin. I hope we don't pay that price. Pedro, if that is true, man. If that is true, 37 million.
He's only got a year on his contract. Apparently,
he's got 1 year left.
Apparently, we offered £7 million from that was not back.
7 million quid. Wow.
That's apparently what we offered.
Wow.
And then we put it up to 10 million and they still knocked it back.
Wow. I'll walk away from that then. Because I tell you, he's got way left on his contract. I mean, other clubs, the big 6 clubs are not after him. If he was that good, right? No disrespect to Dominic, right? If he was that good and consistent and not have that many injuries, one of the big 6 clubs would get him. You know what I mean? Spurs are looking for a striker. Ian, good big enough for him.
That's what I said to you yesterday, didn't I, John? I said, if he was that good, I says, why isn't Arsenal in for him? They need a striker. Why isn't Tottenham in for him? Why isn't Villa in for him? Why isn't City in for him? Why isn't Chelsea in for it? Well, it must be now because it's saying that there is a rumour that Chelsea want him as well. But, why aren't the other clubs in for him? Because there's a reason for that. Because he ain't good enough. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay. He ain't going to score 20 goals a season at Arsenal at the Emirates, is he?
That's it.
No.
That's it.
Can I just come in, Yaba? Thanks for the membership. I don't know if that's a renewed membership or a continuous one, but thanks, Yaba.
Fantastic. Thanks for the membership again, Yaba, which I think he's been on with you as a new member. And thanks for joining Pete's member. Hello for New Hampshire. Big up to Edward as well. Hope you're well. I hope you continue to watch my channels as well, man. And first time viewer because he knows on Pete's channel as well. Great, thanks. Just got back from Darlow, seeing my parents and family. Had a small painting job, getting me money for the Newcastle top in a few weeks' time. Lee,
well, nice one, Lee.
To you, nice one to you, and hi to Lee's family as well. It's easy for Eddie to sell, as he can keep his favourites. Is looking that way, and Tony Minter a flop, and like chatting to. Then
well, no, I'm not saying he's gonna. I'm not saying he is gonna flop. I'm not saying Minty is a flop. What I said was, and I'll clarify it now.
Yeah.
What I said was, he's had a great season in the Eredivisie, and it's just because he's had a great season there, it doesn't mean to say he's going to come in and hit the Premier League and take it by storm. He could freeze in the Premier League because he might not get the time that he's probably gets in Eredivisie, and then he might not be the player that he was in Holland last season. He might be a totally different player, and he might not make it in the Premier League. That's what I was saying. That I'm not saying he's a flop, because I'm saying far from it. I would like to see him in a black and white shirt, but that I was only putting it out there as, you know, you've got to look at every angle. He may be good enough for the Premier League, but then he may not be. The Premier League is a very different league to other leagues in Europe. And you don't get as much time on the ball in the Premier League as you do in other European leagues. Yeah. So that's why I was just saying about that with Minty. I wasn't saying he's a flop. Far from it. Just to clarify, he is not a flop. I'm just saying he might not do it in the Premier League. That's all I'm saying. Do you agree with that, John, Pete?
Yeah, thanks for
possibility, because the Premier League's different to the Holland League. So
yeah, very true. Yeah, see where you come from, Tori. Thanks for clearing that one up, mate. Jabba Do's gifted 10 memberships on PD's channel.
Or Cheers Yabba thinks I'll just read them out.
Yeah, please.
So memberships have gone to Mark, Richie Lowe, Key88, Joe Linton, Jake, Carl, Matt Thompson, Rory Bryan, 2 Review, and Foxy.
Wow.
Well done. Fantastic. I've been members, but I've never, ever had those 10 gifted memberships. Never. Not since I've been doing my channel. But always time. Have any of you seen Matt Diaz-Vieira play? Meant to be some talent for the future. Never heard of this guy. Who does he play football? And come back to us. We are changing the badge to England badge with Boris Johnson as our director of football. Wow. Big up to Santos, by hope you won, man. It sucks to lose Minty, but honestly, we've never seen him play, and you'd rather him go than Isak or Bruno. That's a fair shout, Santos. That's a fair shout, mate. You know what? If anyone's going to go, be him, then we probably get up to 140 mil, and we could spend up to 160 mil as well. Even to Lawrence, I hope you well. Yes, Tony.
Lawrence.
John, you know the story's been going around again. You know how obviously back in January we were linked with Coop Miners, weren't we? Right?
Yeah, he's off to Juventus, but go on.
Yeah, he's off to Juventus, yeah. And you notice we've been linked again with Denzel Dumfries as well, right? Because obviously if Kieran Trippier's on his way, we're being linked with him as well. Again, they're both from the same agency as Eddie Howe, Wasserman. So they use quite a lot, don't they? You know? But yeah, that link was around about a week and a half ago about Denzel Dumfries, that we're keeping an eye on him because he may be on his way out. So, I mean, look, would you take Denzel Dumfries, John?
100%. He's a decent right back. He's a champion of Milan, not once or twice, and he played in the Champions League final as well. Had a decent game, although he lost. But I think he's a good defender, right back as well. He could play in the back three. He could play on the right wing back as well. He's a decent lad, good player. But I don't think he'll be leaving anytime soon with Inter. But again, PSR, Inter will demand a lot of money for this guy. A lot of money.
I think he's only got a year left on his contract, John.
I think Inter offer him a new deal because they love him.
Apparently, he's not been offered a new deal. He's only got a contract next year.
Wow, that's interesting. Then that's interesting. Keep an eye out for that.
25 million euros is his price tag. So, I mean, look, if we look at his stats last season in Serie A, 19 started out with 31 games. He scored 4 goals and got 4 assists. And he had 2 yellow cards and 1 red card last season. He won 65% of his aerial duels and 49% of his ground duels as well. So he's not bad, is he? He had 1 error that led to a goal, but none that led to a shot. And he didn't give any penalties away either. So really, he's not a bad player. And his ball recoveries per game is 1.9. So not too bad. Not massive, but not too bad. But yeah, he's not a bad player at all, Dumfries.
True. Well, we'll keep our eyes open for that. If people are keen for Callum, why do we need to sell Minty? Craig's got a good point. Minty can go 10 out of 10 first next season, and DCL could do the same or more. We don't know. And we also don't know the books, but it's as fun being an expert at all these things as will be Farmer. Hi to Amy. Hope you're well. Love you lots. And also, I know we want 36 Murphy and Milne to leave first, but we don't want them. Why are we surprised no one else does? That's a fair shout. That's a fair question. For me, right, you try and get rid of them, they don't want to leave. That is the problem. Murphy's got, 3 years left on his contract. 36 got 1 year left on his contract, and Mickey's got 2 years left on his contract. It's as simple as that. And they're not knocking on the door for them, are they? Sad.
No.
And there's 5 years comes as loads as well. And the Pembrey lose their best players to PSR. Kishan, I said that for a couple of days. Still don't know how a team that finishes in Europe, like Villa, struggling with FFP, makes no sense.
It's just baffling, isn't it?
Baffling, isn't it?
Having to sell the best player.
Absolutely baffling. And Jaffa has sent out 10 more names in the membership, Pete.
We've got another 10, have we?
Yes, you have.
All right. Oh, no, he's Tony, you've just gifted 5, I can see.
Joe's gifted 5.
Yeah, I've just gifted 10, actually.
Oh, you gifted 10 now, have you?
Yeah, so they've gone to, on my channel, Jam Stasher, Hell Fox, Scott O'Brien, Craig Graham, and Mason. And then also on the next 5, Tangi, Soph NUFC, Brian, P88, and Mark as well.
So Tony?
I've just gifted 10 memberships on my channel there.
Well done. Become a member, guys, on my channel. It's only 99p, please. 99p. Join us as a member, and then that'd be fantastic. Thank you very much indeed, guys. Also for Tony, also for Pete as well, if you have not joined. Don't worry, Jay. No one's coming in for Anthony.
I don't think anyone would, because he's that crap.
No, he's not worth the money.
Nah. So sell Minte or lose Bruno or Isaac Gordon. Which do you prefer? Club want to keep the big 3 stars. Minte might have to be sacrificed.
Bruno, Isaac Gordon. We want to keep those more than Minty, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's why we want them to stay at the club.
But where was FFP when Man U spent the most money all through the 90s? Do we strip them off titles? It doesn't sound it, mate. Doesn't sound it. PSR is being used as an excuse. I guarantee we ain't gone over. And what some fans are saying about DCL said the same about Gordon. But the thing's like, DCL's got his injury prone. Let's touch on him, by the way. I mean, Tony, look,
yeah.
I see people on, I think I've got a private chat. Click the $sign, click the $sign on YouTube. Yeah, thanks very much for that, Tony, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. But,
what were you going to say, John?
I was going to say to DCL, right?
Yeah.
Target, right? I read this out as target options, low blocks. As a squad sign, that's it. We have to raise the floor of the squad. We have a bench with nothing tangible to use most of the season. Yeah, I mean, at DCL, right? I mean, I've seen people on social media, right, come out and said, we have this player, we have that player. But ask the question, right? Ask the question, yeah? I want to win the title. I want to win cups, yeah? I really do. Yeah? But to win that, we have to get quality players in. DCL, no disrespect to him, he's had a lot of injury record, yeah? We went for it yesterday, yeah? Mm-hmm. I mean, he's been linked to other clubs as well. And by the way, AC Milan, according to Mail Online, owns him as well. AC Milan has thrown their hats into the ring for DCL. So,
have to know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you know what? He's got to pick a choice, yeah? And would you take him at Newcastle, or he's not good enough?
John, look, I said this yesterday as well. Look,
I know you wasn't listening.
I mean, the guy had a couple of good. Let's say he had a couple of good seasons, John. You know, and we know he had a couple of good seasons. But if you look at his stats, right? So you go back to season 2019 and 2020, just before lockdown. He played 36 games, got 13 goals and 1 assist. During lockdown, 2020 to 21, he played 33 games and scored 16 goals, which is a 1-2 ratio. That was the 2 best seasons he had. Since 21 season, so 2021 season, 22, 22, 23, 23, 24 season, right? So for those last 3 seasons, he has scored a total of 14 goals and played 66 games and scored 14 goals in 3 seasons, right? Yes, we know he's had mental health issues and all this sort of thing. Now, you look at that and you think, is he really that good? And if you go back to his seasons from 2016 to 2018, he played a total of 67, 78 games and scored 11 goals in 78 games before we had those 2 purple patch seasons, as I'm going to say, because that's what they were, 2 purple patch seasons. Apart from that, most of them have been single figures. That's the only 2 that he's got in double figures is 2019, 2020, 2020 and 21 season as well. So you look at that and you think, right, okay then, fair enough, we can see he's not really a prolific goal scorer. He's a 1 in 4 goal ratio scorer. If you look at his injury record, right, okay, so April this year till May, he was out for 6 days with an illness. That's fair enough. Because, look, every player gets the flu, cold or whatever, and sometimes you can't play. And you can't. It does affect your breathing and that. August the 20th till September the 14th, he was out for 25 days with a broken cheekbone. Now, that coincided 2 days after, he was out for 17 days for fitness reasons. So he must have been coming back from an injury and trying to get fit. So then he got the broken cheekbone 2 days later. But then he had, if you go back till the 20th of May last year, 23, he had a hamstring injury, kept him out for 31 days. In the same year, in February, he was out for 75 days with a hamstring injury. Before that, November 22, so that was when the Qatar World Cup was on, he was out for 53 days with a hamstring injury. So that was 3 hamstring injuries in a row. Then on August 2022, he was out for 60 days with a knee injury. And April 22, he was out for 18 days with a hamstring injury. August the 28th, 2021 till 31st December, so that was 125 days, he was out with a broken toe. Before that, he had another hamstring injury, which kept him out for 8 days. Then he had a muscle injury for 24 days, a bruise that kept him out for 26 days, a bruise. Then he had a back injury that kept him out for 68 days, and an ankle injury that kept him out for 54 days. So now I've gone through that bit of injury record there, John.
Yeah.
Do you really want DCL at our club? Because looking at that injury record, I don't want him anywhere near our club.
I don't, mate, neither. I'll be honest with you, I don't. I mean, people say we're happy clappers sort of thing. I'm no happy clapper. You know, I say it how it is. I'm not a sheep. I mean, look, at the end of the day, right, some of our fan base, they're easily pleased. They just take anyone, do you know what I mean? But I don't. And people's going to say, yeah, here's the one. There's players out there. Go aboard, yeah? Let's go back to Santiano's comments. Right? Big up to Santi, by the way. I mean, I've got respect for you, man, and you know that. And we have Marquis Sands under Eddie, Botman, Isak, tonight, and Bruno. We've got to wrap up soon as well because I know people's got to go. The windows would be 80% squad filler and 20% marquee players for the first 11. And also, if I go to, we have some good players, yeah. Those are the marquee stands under Eddie, yeah. But now we've gone back to the players who's going to be English, right? Who is, I mean, it's not my words, but bang average for some people, Pete.
The Calvert-Lewin one. It's not what I would take as well, to be honest. Again, with all them injury records, if Everton are going to slap 37 million for him, 37 million pounds, definitely not a chance. I wouldn't say it would be a backward sign out thing, would more be a sideways kind of signing. But you're just bringing another injury-prone player into the team.
Exactly.
He's not going to get a lot of games. There's no way he'll get ahead of Isak. That's the thing. But if he did come, would I give him a chance? Well, you would. It's like any other sign, but it's not one for me. It's not a well-meant signing for me, unfortunately. And no, 37 million. If they offer that, we should consider walking away straight away from it.
I agree. When he left on his contract as well.
He did play, was it 38 games last season, but he only scored 8 goals. I think the injuries are taking a bit of an effect on him. That's been a problem.
Well, Pete, if you think about it, Pete, you can see it now with Callum Wilson, how the injuries have took its toll on his body now. Yep. Because, I called it right when he come back from injury, and he come back before the Forest game, and I said, give Callum Wilson 2 games to be gone again with an injury. And he went out that game with an injury after 2 games. And I got it right again. Now, the thing is, right, Callum Wilson had 2 ACLs.
Yep.
This is all catching up with Callum Wilson. He's lost 2 seasons through 2 ACLs. So Callum Wilson has lost 2 years of his footballing career out of that. But all those injuries are catching up on Callum Wilson now. And the same will happen with Calvert-Lewin. When the older he gets, these will catch up on him eventually. Yes, he's 5 years younger than Callum Wilson, but give him another 2 or 3 years. And as I said, when you look at some of them injuries there, I mean, look, even if you look at the recent one, but when you look at the hamstring injury, he was out for 75 days with it, It's just unbelievable. But to be out with a bruise for 26 days, you think, what? A bruise normally clears up within a week or so, doesn't it? So, but it depends what sort of bruise it was. I don't know, But his scoring record, like I say, isn't great. The last 3 years, 14 goals in 3 years, in 3 seasons. That's hardly prolific. That's hardly going to scare defences. Yes, he may be a good target man, but that's all he is. I'd rather have Chris Wood back at the club, if I'm honest. Chris Wood scored more goals last season than he has. And it shows. It's even Anthony Gordon scored more goals than him, and Anthony Gordon's our striker. So I'm not sure about it, but go back. Where was that comment, John? Sorry, can you just put that comment back on that you had from Santino? I think wasn't it?
That's the one.
Look, you see, we've had marquee signs under Howe. Right. Let's get this straight. Bruno was brought in by Steve Nixon because we didn't have a director of football at the time. The club were aware of his availability and went in for him. So I don't think Eddie Howe had anything to do with that. I think it was Steve Nixon, because Steve Nixon went to Brazil to do the contract with him and everything, getting the medical. Botman was one that we tried to get in the January, but we ended up getting him in the summer. I think that was down to Ashworth. Isak was an Ashworth signing, as we know, because Ashworth went and got him from Spain. Because if you all remember, everybody was there when Fabrizio put out, here we go, Joe Pedro, Newcastle. Then it went quiet. 2 days later, who comes in? Alexander Isak. Dan Ashworth went and got him from Spain. Dan Ashworth was responsible for Tonali as well. So I'm not really sure if it's down to Eddie Howe, the marquee signings, or if it was all down to Dan Ashworth as well as Steve Nixon. But, as I say, if Eddie Howe brings these players in, like some people are saying that average players like Calvert-Lewin and that, if he struggles next season, I'm afraid it'll be Eddie who'll be gone. And, a new manager will have to come in and pick up the pieces. But then, when you want to try and shift these players on, if we do sign Calvert-Lewin, I hope we don't go out and give him a stupid 5-year deal. Please don't, because if you give him a huge deal like that, you don't know how long he's going to last. You don't know, the next injury he gets could end his career. Who knows?
I agree, guys. Let's go for the comments for the closest show, because I know you guys want to watch Scotland. How do you know this player? How do we know the players the team are looking at? This is a question. Wait until the 3rd of July, and we could be in for a big shock. XYZ to come in, and all boys who knows. And more often we get from Murphy. These are has to better than have 3 keepers on the bench. At the minute, you only have 3 keepers. Lads, do you not think I'm Lewis and smokescreen for someone better and the club to keep it quiet? Alan, it could be anything could happen, mate. Anything could happen. Totally agree with Tony. We have gone from Mamadashvili to Trafford and Olise to who knows who.
Said Mamadashvili turned us down because he wasn't guaranteed. He wasn't going to be guaranteed a lot of first team football.
Well, that's not true now, Pete. Apparently, it's come out. The club said no to Mamadashvili because they thought it was too high a price to pay for a keeper to compete with Nick Pope.
Well, it was only how much? If it's in
35 million quid.
35 mil.
That's bargain in the transfer market.
Exactly. Yeah.
Here's the day.
Work that one out, Pete. Work that one out, mate. Because I can't.
Ooh, I cannot. I'd love to work it out. Give us a day to work it out, and I'll let you guys know. We had to sub on Kraft, Lascelles, Dominic Ritchie, Dobaka. Now we replace them with DCL, Kelly, Trafford, Killerman. It's absolutely an improvement. Okay. We've got to respect Santi there. That's a fair shout.
Yeah.
Target needs to be gone if someone pays
definitely
100K.
needs to be gone. But again, it's shifting him, John.
Army. Yeah.
It's shifting target on 100 grand a week. Plus, his valuation is now only 8 million quid. That's all he's worth now. That was a mistake signing him because, yes, he had a good loan spell.
Yeah.
But I think we made a mistake signing him. Even Villa fans, well, after when we signed him, said, good luck to you signing him. And, you know,
it will be a bad signing.
It's gone. That's gone south. That deal has. But
yeah,
we need to
you will get the odd bads. You will get a bad signing or two.
Yeah.
And according to another report today as well, what I saw earlier, which I forgot to mention, apparently we're looking at Andreas Pereira still from Fulham.
Yeah.
The ex-Man United midfielder.
Yeah.
Where would he fit in the team?
Exactly where? Exactly.
He's got to play a 10 role. He's a 10 role.
There's rumours of Pedro Neto, but again, a very injury-prone player.
That's the thing.
Do I think he's better than Miggy and Murphy? Yes, I actually do. But could you keep the lad fit? That's the problem. But he is a great player on his day. But you know how many injury he picks up. And that's a problem. And I think Wolves are quoting about 60 for him. That's the thing.
Neto. He's got G-string, hamstrings. That's what he's got.
Problem.
Twice against us, his hamstring's gone because if you go back to that away game, when we played them in the pouring rain, when we had that dubious penalty, which shouldn't have been a penalty, by the way, but we'll take it all day. Thank you very much, VAR. But when you go back to that game against Wolves, he was rampant all game against us. He was terrorising us down that wing until the 68th minute, and he went down with his hamstring. That is the problem. He's got G-strings for hamstrings. And again, another player that goes injured for a long while. So I don't want us outlaying 60 million quid on a player. That's going to be... I don't want us laying 60 million pound on a player that's going to miss half the season because he's going to be sitting on the treatment table. It's a waste of money, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I know Chiesa's had injury problems.
Hi, Daniel. Yeah,
and if you can get Chiesa for about 30-35 million quid, that represents better value than buying Neto, in my opinion. And then even if you've brought another right winger into the club as well as Chiesa, you can rotate them so Chiesa doesn't get the injuries as much.
The thing he's saying about there, but the problem is, what if we did get Neto and he's out? Who's your two wingers after that? It's Murphy and Miggy, unfortunately.
Yeah, we need rid of Miggy. That's what we need rid of.
Yeah. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. We're going to wrap this comments as well. If I miss any of you guys out, I do apologise. There's loads and loads and loads, but thank you so much for putting him in. Neto's an absolute baller. He was Liverpool City last season for a reason. Were in not his injuries last season, they'd be out of reach for us with the risk, in my opinion. That's the Santino. DCL, he's second choice, so I won't have 20 to 30 million mileage this game in injury 2. He's going from number 1 to number 2 if he comes to us. And
would not be paying 37 million, I can tell you that. I said I didn't want the player anyway.
Bigger to explore in the northeast. Hope you well. Master should join Radcliffe. That's in Chelsea back. You're absolutely bang on there. Remember, Premier League changed the rules when PIF bought Newcastle.
The reason for that is because they don't want to see us compete. Because we got rid of the fat controller. So because then they thought, this organization's got loads of money. We're going to stick some restrictions on there. Yeah. That's why they've done it.
Yeah,
because they don't want to see us compete for a title or a trophy.
No,
exactly. It was as soon as Amanda Staveley come out and said, "I am sick of having a photograph in this stadium and there being a Sports Direct sign behind every photograph." She's, "I can't stand anywhere in the stadium without a Sports Direct sign in the background." And then she got the skips in and started taking them down. As soon as the first board came off, the Leicester City chairman, Top, that's how they nickname him because I can't pronounce his name, but that's what they nickname him, Top, the owner who died, his son.
Mm-hmm.
He then went to the Premier League and said, "Whoa, hang on, Newcastle are taking all our sponsorship down. They're going to get new sponsorships, and we need to get a ruling in so they can't have overinflated sponsorship." And it was Leicester City's chairman who started the ball rolling for that, and everybody else came on board. The only team that abstained from voting was Manchester City. They didn't want to know about it. And that is why the fair market value come in. And that was thanks to Leicester City, who then went down last season. Yeah. And now going to get a point deduction when they come up. So, do you know what? That's karma, Leicester. That's karma for you.
Exactly. You're getting beat by your own game. Sorry, Chris.
And you've got Steve Cooper as manager as well. Good luck for next season.
Well, I think it's a safe appointment for them. Because it could have been Graham Potter, but I think Graham Potter's waiting for the England call after.
He's an awful man. I don't want him anywhere near the England job, Peter. I don't rate him.
Graham Potter.
No, I don't rate him. He's a championship manager. That's all he is.
I don't know.
If he goes anywhere near that England job, we're screwed. We're screwed. He's not good enough.
Not really fit yet.
He wasn't good enough for Chelsea. He's not a big name manager.
Well, Neymar did well at Chelsea. He did well at Brighton. That's the thing. But we'll wait and see. But I think you would say provide a better style of play of football than what bloody Borgate is, because we've been absolutely toshing these Euros so far, and this is his last season. And he wants to try and win that, and he wants to win that competition. What that manager's doing is providing absolutely paint-drying football.
The favourite for the England job is Eddie Howe, believe it or not. That's the one England fans want as well, Eddie Howe. They want him in charge of England. And the FA want him. They're going to make a beeline for him as soon as Southgate quits. And I'll tell you what, I don't mind that if they want to take... And people say, he'll not go. How do you know Eddie Howe won't go? Because at the end of the day, you might look at it and think, look at the talented players England's got. The style of football I play. Look at what I could do with this team. I could win that World Cup in 2 years' time. Eddie Howe might be thinking, do you know what? No, I'm going for the England job. And who would blame him? Nobody.
Exactly.
Never say never. Managers are ambitious. And it doesn't matter if he's not on the training ground every day. Managers are ambitious. And, if a manager comes out one day and says, I wouldn't do that job because it's only a part-time job. We've seen it before where managers have come out and said, oh, no, I wouldn't be interested in doing that job. And then all of a sudden they get offered it and they go, oh, yeah, hang on, we'll take it now. So I wouldn't be surprised. So people think, Eddie Howe, yes, he likes the day-to-day stuff. But there may be a bit there. If he's offered that job, he may think, I could be a World Cup with a manager in 2 years' time. And it might be too hard to turn down. I'm not being funny, Pete, and John, if that was me and I was offered the England job, and I thought, do I want to stay in club football or do I? Then you think, actually, I could win the World Cup with this lot because there's some cracking players there, and I could improve other players to make their game better as well. And you're going to take it, aren't you, all day long?
Yeah, I think I kind of agree there, because England's a terrific job to take on, and better players as well. But I'd rather keep Eddie, and we'll see what happens. And Pip, go on, Pete.
For the Slovenia game, I am not very hopeful at all.
I don't think we are.
I think we'll win it.
We'll win it just. But
it wouldn't surprise me if what concerns me is Gareth Southgate is going to play the same team again.
No, I don't think he will, Pete. I think he's going to make changes. Now, the changes I would make, Pete, I'll give you the two options how I would do this, Pete. Option one is you drop Alexander-Arnold out of midfield, you push Bellingham back, and you put Foden in the 10 role and put Gordon left. So you've got width on the left, because we've got no width on the left. Mm-hmm. Second option is you drop Alexander-Arnold and Foden, because I think Foden's been absolutely crap in these Euros, if I'm honest. You drop them two. You bring in either Gallagher, Mainu, or Adam Morton into that midfield. I would rather bring Adam Morton in, play him in the defensive midfield role alongside Rice, because he can ping a ball about. And then put Gordon on the left.
Yeah, it could do. But again, it still concerns me. Is Gareth Southgate still going to persist with his negative football? No,
he'll have to change something, because I'm sure he's been told. And I wouldn't be surprised if his coaching staff has said to him, look, come on, Gareth, you need to change this. But if you go back to the last Euros, Pete, and John, if you go back to the last Euros, Croatia, first game, we win 1-0. Second game, we had that horrible 0-0 draw with Scotland where we played absolutely terrible. It reminds you of the Denmark game. Third game, we played Czechia, or it was Czech Republic at the time. We beat them only 1-0 through Raheem Sterling.
Wasn't a great
And
game.
then when we got to the knockouts, we then beat Germany and we went all the way to the final. I think because we just want to get out, I think he's playing defensive because he wants out the group stages. But I'll tell you what it is. I think once we hit the knockouts, we'll be a different team. I seriously do.
Hopefully,
We've got to win the group floor, and I think we'll go out to win that group on Tuesday.
Yeah, you'll have to change it, otherwise we'll be knackered. Good point by 80s Gamer. We can dress this up any way we want to. Bottom line is how a nephew full control transfers in Amsterdam director of football. He wants to keep Miggy Longstaff at the expense of losing Minte Anderson. Do you know what it is, mate? I tell you now, right? Miggy Longstaff's at that club. You can forget about winning trophies. I'm telling you, because I tell you what, they're not good enough anymore. I'm sorry, but they're not good enough. PIF won't go into receivership behind a good winger. Tony, he did tell you that Bart Verbruggen we should have gone for. And I think you mentioned that as well. I haven't got to Discord channel, I'm afraid. Magpie, I'd love to, but I haven't got it, I'm afraid. And yeah, I've just read that as well. We got to but not getting grassy for 50 mil. Lee, well said. We did mention that. 1st July, then we start spending the money. And the members as well, you read that. Pete, thank you, man. It seems to be going backwards to Mike Ashley's eras. It's almost like PIF have almost given up with any ambition in Newcastle, but all this FFP PSR BS going on. That could be a fair shout, mate. Tony Powell, I've seen you at the Hoppins.
Oh, I was there yesterday.
Never been there.
Just seeing me in Spinny Rides. Oh, just don't get on anymore, unfortunately. I'm always coming out with a pounding headache now.
I've never been there, but
did you go on Book a Duck then, Pete?
What?
Did you go on Book a Duck?
No, I didn't do that. What do you think I did?
No big teddy bears, Pete?
No, definitely not. But a Bratwurst, 2 rides, one like a wild mouse, like a.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant, isn't it?
And the Waltzer, which I came out with a stunning headache. And after that, I bought myself a packet of churros, 6 churros with some Biscoff sauce all over them.
Oh, churros are lovely, aren't they?
Yeah, I think Sanchez just been telling Gamer to chill out a little bit. And I'm just going to you, Tony. Hi to Crazy. Peace out. Hope you're well, mate. And fly for the school to wrap up the show. What do you think of Rashford going to Arsenal? I've heard that. I've heard it, but I don't think that'll be happening at all. Did you see the fixtures? West Ham don't play outside London until November. Wow. Very, very, very interesting, Daniela. And I'm hoping to go there to West Ham, whether it be at the London Stadium again next season. Watch out for that. I'll be there. It's very difficult to trust the process for when we are bidding for the likes of DCL. Fair shout. Because see Minter doing well in Japan and pieces and games. I can't see it happening now because I think he'll be gone. I totally hear you, bro. But as a backup, all options, target man, there's low blocks of 20, 30 men. Could be worse. Like, at least we're blessed to have Isak leading their line. And just go through more comments before we wrap up. Since players took over, there's been more improvements and new set up training facilities, women's team and first team players. And they are going to invest more too. They aren't finished yet. Dumfries, very suspect, defensively big weakness for Netherlands in a back four. Fits into the team well as plays to win backs. Yeah, three centre backs as well. And hi to Andrew as well. Julie, hi to Niall. I think we'll be changing formation based on the amount of defensive signings. 3-5-2. Are we going to change 3-5-2? I hope not.
Oh no,
I can't see any change, and he never does he?
No,
well, he does actually. He's done a couple of formation changes, didn't he? You know, one against City in the FA Cup when we still got beat 2-0.
Is that Scotland's losing? Yeah.
No, it's 0-0 still, John.
Fair enough. Off topic, in Scotland do or are they coming home? They still in the OC at the minute, and they only take DCL on the boost 4-star contract. The price is right.
Switzerland 0, Germany 0 still as well. Fabian Schär's in the Switzerland lineup tonight as well.
Cool. We can out on this guy. Flow off the squad needs to be raised, and see L. Kelly Trafford do that. Kilman, even more so, we know that we are after a top quality star for the right side of midfield. Shane, big up to Shane. I hope that's true. We definitely need a right side mid.
I mean, could we be looking, obviously we're looking at DCL, but, for the striking options, but could it be that we're trying to get, like, I would say, a lesser striker in, likes of DCL, because you can probably get him a little bit, well, we're trying to get him a little bit cheaper. Does that then, and with having the likes of Kelly in on a free transfer as well, and maybe trying to get Kilman in as well with that player plus cash offer, is it because we're going to have two huge signings coming in, one for the right wing and one for the centre back?
I'd say that could be a possibility.
I mean, look, there's Diamonde has been mentioned, but he's on 70 million quid for him. But then I would, I mean, look, he's a cracking defender, but I tell you who else is a cracking defender, Goncalo Inácio as well. He's centre back partner, and the thing is, his release clause is only £52 million. Now then, because apparently Liverpool tried to go in with a bid of 26 million quid in January, and Sporting told them where to go and said, no, it's a £52 million clause if you want to activate that.
Yeah.
So for £52 million, you would get a centre back in the shape of Inácio, who doesn't only play central defence, he can play left back and he can play right back, anywhere across the back three. That's versatility. And I tell you what, all day I would take on Carlo Inácio. Absolutely. I think he's a cracking defender.
He is a cracking defender, Tony. He really is. I mean, he's so calm on the ball as well. Defends properly, makes up for loss from the ball as well. And his forward coverage on the back is just so amazing. He's so cool. Macy loves him, by the way. You want to keep
anywhere across the back is even better because you've got that versatility. So if you've got Lewis Hall out injured, you can play left back. If Remento's out, you can play right back. Because it looks like Trippier could be gone as well, doesn't it? So,
We'll see.
We're going for this wrap of the show. We want to keep our name to Slidia, fantastic. Kelia, fantastic. Both keepers better than Trafford and probably cheaper than what Burnley want. Yeah, we haven't even mentioned them. It's amazing in my opinion. The fact is, if we had one less injury than we did have, we might be finishing top 4 in past year. Cool well be, Edward. Cool well be. I will make you an offer for and Randy for Forest. And hopefully you can get the medical staff sorted out this season. Thank you, Lee. And this one here, big up the Scott Leicester fan. We'll trade you Minte for Vestergaard. Nah, you're right, mate. No. But we do love you. Wacky and you happy Bento Brazil. Bento's the keeper I want. If you want a keeper, he's the one I want. He's better and cheaper than Trafford. You know what? I'd take this keeper all day long.
Bento, yeah.
Yeah. And I just meant signings under Howe. The whole point of the recruitment team is that the talent ID is spread. Why does Howe get all the hammering for this poor signings, but no flowers for the good ones? You know what? I'm Eddie in. But a lot of people are saying that he's got a big season ahead of him. Ashwood went in and did F2F negotiation because he was the director of football. That was his job. Doesn't mean that the one who found him, we know how had to sign off on sign as part of the team as well. Go a couple more. Everyone make sure you smash the like button. Thank you, Scott. I really appreciate that. And Eddie said, no, that's why. Of course, he was afraid of upsetting Pope. And I heard Mama Sashvili didn't happen because he felt Toon didn't roll out the red carpet enough for him. Sounds like a diva. And I think it's because he wanted to keep Pope Mama and wanted to be undisputed number 1, which is fair enough. Clubs don't seem ready to move on from Pope just yet. And when the new rules gets announced, they'll side the season. And also, if these are top of the signs Eddie's going to make, they're taking the job, and he's deadly serious. Right, that's it, guys. Going to wrap up the show there. I know they've got loads more comments as well. I can't read them out, unfortunately. But thank you very much for coming in for the chat as well. And I know one comment said, KS wants 200k a week. No chance. And so, Tony, where can we find you, man, on your channel? What you got coming up, man?
Yeah, you can find me on It's All Black and White TV, which is behind me there. I've got the England pre-match warm-up show coming up on Tuesday at around 6:30. So join me for that on Tuesday, when hopefully we can beat Slovenia and get through to the next round. by as group winners, because winning the group helps us out even more because you play a third place team
Thank you,
from
Santino.
D and F. So we need to win that group. So yeah, join me for that. I'm only 4. Switzerland have gone 1-0 up, by the way, over Germany.
Wonder Switzerland.
Yeah, so I'm just bear with me there, guys. And it looks like
Barbecue as well.
It looks like it's I don't think it's Mbolo, but I'm not sure who it was. Number 8 for Switzerland scored.
Oh, I can see go to the BBC. It's in Doi.
Ndoi. All right. So Switzerland 1-0 up over Germany. So yeah, so I'm 14 away now from 1200. So if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, nip over to It's All Black and White TV and knock the subscribe there if you don't mind, and also hit the likes as well on tonight's show on all the channels. That'd be fantastic. Thank you very much, John. I'm going to throw one name in, John.
Yeah.
Who could be good for us, and we've been linked to him many a time, and we know he's got a big transfer fee. But again, if we're willing to pay 60 million quid for a winger, then why not go all out for him? Kvaratskhelia, who plays for Georgia and Napoli. I think he's a cracking winger. Yes, he plays left wing, but he's both footed, so you could probably play him right wing as well. But he is a cracking player. But I mean, look, we're probably never going to get him. But again, what a signing he's been for Napoli for 10 million quid. What a bargain they got.
Mm-hmm.
And you watched the Serie A, John, and I know you drool over that player.
Best winger in Serie A. Best winger in Serie A, without a question of a doubt. And I hope Conte keeps him as well. If he's going to see it, the thing is though, NAF's got no European football next season. They haven't got Champions League next season. That's going to be tough. Jules Haichu, man, it's going to be very difficult to keep him, But I think he loves Napoli life. In a minute, he's going to give another shot with the Italian side, and Conte want to look at him. Conte definitely a back three like they always do under Conte. So I think Napoli is going to be a team to watch next season. Trust me when I say that. They will come very close under Conte. And if they get it right, they're backing properly. I think the interesting thing is to go between him and De Laurentiis. I wonder how those two are going to get on. They're both volatile people. And I wonder if they're going to get on together. That is the thing. Laurentiis, right, doesn't like to spend too much money. That is the thing. We'll just see. Pete, where can we find you, man? On your channel, what you got coming up?
So it's PD Proudlock. So back tomorrow for the preview for the game against Slovenia. And the next day will be the Farmat live fan reactions after the game as well. So, yeah, that's what's coming up so far for next week.
Fantastic. I'll be on Wednesday, back on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. I've got a show with Soph, Gunagossa TV. We're going to talk about football, European and teams as well. Join us for that, guys. And we're going to try and get you two back again in a week sometime as well. And thanks so much for coming on. And guys, if you like the video, like what you watch, make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast and have a fantastic evening. And as always, up there with the lads and catch you in a week.
Are we the lads?
Yeah, I'm the lads.